Alumni Achievement Award. This has been given annually since 1971. It recognizes someone who has distinguished himself or herself over a period of years and who has achieved a pinnacle position in his or her chosen profession. The recipient of the 2016 Alumni Achievement Award is Maurice Taylor, class of 1972. Tom Snyder, class of 66, will present the award. Tom and Maurice, would you like to join me?
They have scripts, they're organized, I'm not. Thank you, what a great group. The year was 1967-68 school year. It was my second year in admissions on a two-person admissions staff. Two-person staff. $20 million they have now. I was tasked with working on new markets for student recruitment, one of them being the burgeoning Baltimore and Washington, D.C. areas. As I was dutifully following previous established patterns of visiting mostly public and a few private schools, prep schools, I was one day surprised to have asked to visit one Cardinal Gibbons school, an urban Roman Catholic high school in Baltimore. What? The Juniata brethren school going to a Roman Catholic high school? Who knows? I don't know. Well, that connection came via Juniata head football coach, my coach, and Maurice's coach, Fred Prender, who knew Maurice's coach, Bob Patswall, at Cardinal Gibbons. This lead to a hunky lineman with excellent D3 potential was, of course, one Mo Taylor at the time. So imagine that. The citation which I'm about to read is about a young man who came to Juniata partially as a function of his football prowess. An interesting side note, by the way, I had found when I was researching Cardinal Gibbons. I forgot about being there. Cardinal Gibbons School became a high school after its precursor, which was St. Mary's Industrial School for Boys, a reformatory. Has nothing to do, I'm sure, excepting, you will see as I read the citation, there is a connection of sorts. Just wait, okay. Well, just as the Baltimore Reform School had evolved into a distinguished academic and athletic institution, many years later that Cardinal Gibbons lineman would experience his own evolution. He came to Huntington. I didn't think this was going to happen. He told me it would. Anyway, he came to Huntington and Juniata somewhat out of his element, to say the least. But he survived, and I may say he flourished here and beyond. He became a major contributor to the growth and success of historically black colleges, and yes, even to the growth and success of this little white college in the mountains of central Pennsylvania. What is going on? Where's the tissue you promised? There was tissue here. Please. Okay. Anyway, let me now read to you why today we recognize the man who arrived here as Mo Taylor, OL, offensive lineman, and went on to become Maurice Taylor, MA, PhD, JD, VP, and, well, let me try to read this thing now. Here we go. Whereas Maurice C. Taylor, a member of the class of 1972, has distinguished himself in his profession, and whereas, after graduating with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Sociology and Education from Juniata, he completed both his Master of Arts degree in Sociology and Deviance, and his doctorate in Sociology and Criminology. Got the connection there? Okay. From Bowling Green State University. Later, earning his Juris Doctor degree from Duke University School of Law, and whereas his early career included posts as instructor of sociology at Northampton County Community College, beginning in 1974, Associate Professor of Criminal Justice at Trenton State College, beginning in 1978, and Associate Professor of Sociology, Department of Chairperson, Director of Criminal Justice Program, and Director of the Division of Social Sciences of Arts and Letters at Hampton University, beginning in 1980. I'm tired already. And whereas, after pausing his academic career to attend law school in 1989, he became an associate attorney in the law firm of Gordon, Feinblatt, Rothman, Hofberger, and Hollander. And whereas he began an extensive career at Morgan State University in 1991, first serving as Assistant Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences and then Assistant Vice President of Academic Affairs, Special Assistant to the President, Dean of the School of Graduate Studies, and Tenured Professor of Sociology, Vice President for University Operations, and now Vice President for Academic Outreach and Engagement. And whereas he has served on numerous boards throughout his career, including the Graduate Record Exam Board, the College of Historically Black Graduate Schools, the Maryland Campus Compact Senior Advisory Group for Engagement, the Board of Trustees of Mercy High School of Baltimore, and the Juniata College Board of Trustees. And whereas he has given presentations and served as a panelist for many distinguished higher education professional organizations, facilitating a roundtable discussion on engaging minority trustees for the National Conference on Trusteeship in 2010, and serving as organizer for the 2005, 2006, 2007 annual meetings of the Council of Historically Black Graduate Schools. And whereas he has authored a textbook and articles in publications ranging from Trusteeship, Sociological Inquiry, the Maryland Bar Journal, and the Chronicle of Higher Education. And whereas he has served higher education by contributing to the work of 9 Maryland Higher Education Commission task forces, has worked diligently to ensure the efficacy of education by serving on regional accreditation teams, and has assisted several institutions in their strategic planning processes. And whereas Maurice has tirelessly pursued leadership development through the completion of the Kellogg Foundation Minority Serving Institutions Leadership Program in 2004, and Harvard University's Graduate School of Education's Institute for Educational Management Program in 1998, for which he was awarded the Bush-Hewlett Foundation Institution for Educational Management Fellowship for Senior Administration from private historically black colleges and universities. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this award is presented to him in recognition of a lifetime achievements in his career. It is an honor and a privilege to present Maurice C. Taylor with a citation of achievement by direction of the Alumni Council. Yo!
For as long as I can remember, people have been trying to get me to shut up. It's true, whether high school or college, graduate school, law school, job after job, teachers, professors, employers, supervisors, board members have tried on numerous occasions to persuade me, induce me to just keep quiet. At times, I have to admit, it's been somewhat disheartening, and on occasion I felt sometimes like a prodigal son. But as many of you who know me, and I came to Juniata in 1968, I've been talking ever since. You may recall that I was a DJ on Juniata's radio station. It was the Mo Show, 620 on your radio. I did quite a bit of talking. I had a captive audience, mostly the prisoners at the Huntington Correctional Facility. As a DJ, I taught Will Brandow, who was the director of student activities at the time in the newly opened Ellis Hall, into sponsoring, as far as I know, the only Juniata College hot pants dance. This in an era where the women still had curfew. As a senior, I taught, Mary, you may remember this, Walt Nadzak, the head football coach and athletic director, into appointing me to be the head coach of Juniata's women's basketball team. And President Troha, even now, I still can't believe this, that I talked my way into being the only male resident of the French House on Moore Street. It was me and 8 women. Talking, however, was not always about fun and games. I also talked my way into being voted sophomore class president and later chair of a fledgling Black students organization. I spent 4 years here playing football, both as an offensive and defensive tackle, at one time blocking for a series of Juniata's running backs, and at other times opposing the other team's centers, defending as best I could from having them run over us. I spent 21 years as a member of Juniata's Board of Trustees, speaking often in opposition of the prevailing sentiments of my colleagues. So when I got the call in February notifying me that I would be the recipient of this year's Juniata Alumni Achievement Award, I was surprised, and for the first time in a long time, I was speechless. Over the past couple of months, I've had a chance to reflect on my experiences both as a student and a board member at Juniata, and why people keep trying to get me to shut up. In Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, you may recall that Atticus Finch was the attorney in a small southern town circa the early 1900s. And in one of the scenes, one of the early scenes in the book, a rabid dog is patrolling the streets of this small town, and everyone is shut up behind their doors, and Atticus is called upon to shoot the rabid dog. Later in the book, Atticus defends Tom Robinson, a black man who is falsely accused of rape by Mayella. And even though Tom is ultimately convicted in the story, the caretaker for Atticus' 2 children, Jim and Scout, try to explain to them their father's courage. She says to them that there are some men in this world who are born to do our unpleasant jobs for us. Juniata College taught me that sometimes it is your responsibility to do the unpleasant on behalf of other people. Sometimes you are the one required to stand in the middle of the street all alone and shoot the rabid dog. Sometimes it is your responsibility to block for and defend other people, even though you know that, as Hamlet would say, you are likely to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Juniata taught me to keep talking on behalf of the people and the causes that I believe in. Being the recipient of this year's Alumni Achievement Award is confirmation that my talking over the years have not made me the prodigal son. This award is public recognition that I too am Juniata's native son. For this I'm pleased, honored, and grateful. I want to thank the members of the Alumni Council. In particular, I want to thank Ashley Appleman, class of 2007, member of the Alumni Council, who I met recently at all places at Morgan State University. The Juniata magazine frequently talks about meet Juniata people in some of the strangest places. Sometimes you meet them in your own backyard. I want to also thank Tom Snyder, who mentioned he recruited me to come to Juniata. I want to thank his wife, Mary Snyder, who was the secretary for the athletic director during my time here, for her, well, first of all, for feeding me. Certainly that was no easy task. And for her advice and counsel over the years. I want to thank Betty Ann Cherry for her big heart in caring for a student in, I believe it was Great Epochs or The Nature of Man, her seminar, for her big heart in embracing a student who just would not be quiet. My wife, Diane, is here. We celebrated our 24th wedding anniversary this past Monday. I'm pleased that she is here with me to share in this honor. Diane, thank you for putting up with me for this time. Thank you all for honoring me with this year's Alumni Achievement Award. I will treasure it always.